All right. We are ready to get started once again. Welcome back, everybody, for another edition of our behavior talks. Those people that have left comments or gave suggestions, again, we really appreciate it. We're working hard to trying to figure out how we can add video and other things to our broadcast. But right now, you'll just have to deal with the slides until we figure out all of those technological barriers. Do you have any suggestions in terms of what topics or what type of terminology you want us to cover? We're more than happy to get that feedback from you as well. Today's topic is about effective teaching. And because we're talking about, well, how do we change people's behaviors? How do we go about having people learn from the things that we want them to learn? And so the first thing that we always have to look at is what are the things that we are doing as teachers, and how can we be effective in our ability to teach? What are the qualities that make up a good teacher? What is it that good teachers share in common with each other? First off, a good teacher helps the students achieve their potential. Right? So what does that mean to help them achieve their potential? Well, I think that's different for different people. Okay. And the most important thing really is like, okay, what is any particular student capable of achieving? A good teacher gets them to realize that potential. A good teacher really maximizes the students' learning so that they can get to what it is they're capable of getting to. What are they able to learn and being able to learn to their ability level? Right. So one way to really maximize a student's learning is for that instruction to be very much individualized to that student. In the past, we talked about how everyone is different. Everyone has their unique strengths and weaknesses, and that in order for any individual to learn as fast and the most that they can, the more tailored that instruction is to that individual, the faster that individual is going to learn. Of us are visual learners. We learn by watching and seeing how it's done. Some of us are auditory learners. We do it better when we can listen and we can process through listening about the descriptions of the things that we have to do. Some of us are tactile learners and we have to touch things and we have to feel things and we have to do that. And all of us are different in the modes that we learn, and that you're better at learning when that instruction is tailored to your unique profile. Ratio of how many teachers to how many students has a great impact on how much and how fast we learn. So if you're learning anything at all, it helps you more and you're more likely to learn faster if you have direct one-to-one instruction from somebody on how to do something, as opposed to you attend a class of 10 people or 30 people or 100 people or 500 people, that in a larger and larger pool in general, you won't learn as fast or as well or as thoroughly as when you get the direct one-to-one teaching. This individualized learning method is about maximizing what any particular person can learn to do. And it's really about, tailoring the learning to the student. If this is a tactile learner, we're going to give the learner a lot of tactile experiences. If this is an auditory learner, we're going to give them as much examples in that mode as possible. And it's really about creating an environment that is very conducive to learning for this one individual. Now, to really make sure that we're teaching appropriately and we're teaching to help the student learn as much as possible, we have to know what the child's skill level actually is. Okay? And you have to then be good about teaching at that level, not too high for them and not too low for them. In all my experience, it's rare for me to ever encounter parents that are very accurate about where their child's skill set actually is. Parents either greatly overestimate where their child's skill set is or greatly underestimate what their skill set is. And that overestimation and underestimation sometimes is with the same parent, but just on different skill sets. I've had parents tell me like, oh yeah, my child can do this, 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 and this. Okay, let's see your child do it. And then when I watch them as they have the child get dressed or brush their teeth or put on shoes, what you realize like, oh, this parent's doing most of the work for this child. Oh, they're the ones helping them. And it's not that parents are intentionally deceiving or any of that. What it is that they believe that their child is independent with these skill sets when most of the time they're lending a lot of help for them to do it. On the opposite side of it, they'll say like, oh yeah, my child can't do this or my child can do that. I am working with a parent and it's like, oh yeah, like my child doesn't know how to peel a banana, like, oh, and so I'd like for you to teach my child how to peel a banana, So what we do is I call the child over, we handed them the banana, peel the banana. Guess what? The child was able to peel the banana, okay? And in that example there, what happened was the parent gets used to helping them at the very first sign of trouble. So the child learns to be heavily dependent on the parent to do stuff for them. So for this particular child, they're just used to like not even trying. I'm like, here, mom, peel that banana for me. That leads mom to believe he cannot peel that banana. What's really important is really to understand, whatever task you want to teach your child, identify accurately what your child's able and not able to do, and to have realistic expectations about how much they can learn in how much time, So, when you're first starting to teach them to ride their bike, I wouldn't expect them to do tricks on that bike the same day.